Have you ever worked hard for something? Success in school, a relationship, your career, only to watch yourself ruin it at the very last moment. Maybe you procrastinated until the deadline passed, pushed away someone who cared, or gave up just before a breakthrough. Why do we do this? Why do we destroy our own success? Today, we're diving into the psychology of self-sabotage, the hidden forces that make us our own worst enemy. Self-sabotage is when your actions, or lack of action, directly block your own goals. It's missing an exam you studied for because you forgot to set an alarm, or overeating when you've promised yourself to eat clean. At its core, it's not about laziness or weakness. It's about fear, self-doubt, and deeply rooted psychological patterns. As the philosopher Socrates once said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." Self-sabotage is often a signal that there are unexamined fears and beliefs lurking beneath the surface. One major reason we sabotage ourselves is fear of failure. If we never try, then we never truly fail. In psychology, this is called self-handicapping. We deliberately create obstacles so that if we don't succeed, we can blame the obstacle instead of ourselves. Think about the student who waits until the last minute to write their essay. If they fail, they can say, "Well, I didn't even try." It protects their ego, but in reality, it robs them of the chance to succeed fully. Here's the twist: sometimes we're just as afraid of success as we are of failure. Success means change, responsibility, and visibility. Aristotle wrote, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but habit. But habits of excellence require us to step into the unknown. Imagine someone who wants to get in shape. Deep down, they might fear that if they succeed, their friends or family will treat them differently. Or if they earn that promotion, expectations will skyrocket. Subconsciously, they sabotage their progress to avoid the discomfort of growth. Another driver is low self-worth. If you don't believe you deserve happiness or success, you'll unconsciously push it away. The philosopher Epictetus once said, "You become what you give your attention to." If your attention is always on your flaws, you'll find ways to confirm them, even if that means destroying good opportunities. This shows up in relationships too, pushing away people who treat us well because deep down, we don't believe we're worthy of love. Perfectionism is another trap. By holding impossibly high standards, we ensure we never finish what we start. This is still a form of control. If nothing is ever good enough, then we never risk criticism. As Voltaire famously put it, perfect is the enemy of good. The irony, in chasing perfection, we guarantee imperfection, unfinished projects, missed opportunities, and a trail of self-sabotage. History and pop culture are full of examples. Writers who drank themselves into silence, athletes who threw away their careers with one reckless choice. Even everyday people, we've all known someone who keeps quitting just before a big break. But self-sabotage isn't destiny, it's a pattern, and patterns can be broken once we see them clearly. So how do we stop destroying our own success? The first step is awareness. You can't change what you don't see. Start noticing your triggers, those small, quiet moments before you procrastinate or give up. Ask yourself, am I avoiding this task because I'm afraid to fail? Or am I chasing perfection, waiting for the right moment that never comes? Awareness turns automatic self-sabotage into conscious choice. And once you can see it, you can start to change it. Next, reframe failure. Most of us were taught to fear failure, to see it as proof we're not good enough. But failure is just data. It's feedback. As Thomas Edison famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Every setback is a stepping stone, not a wall. The only true failure is refusing to learn from it. Then comes building self-worth. Self-sabotage often hides under the belief that we don't deserve success, that if we get too far, someone will find out we're not good enough. So start proving yourself wrong, one small win at a time. Wake up and make your bed. Finish that workout. Keep that promise you made to yourself. Every small act of follow-through is a vote for the person you want to become. Seek support. You don't have to do this alone. Talk to a therapist, reach out to a mentor, find an accountability partner who reminds you of your potential when you forget it yourself. Isolation fuels sabotage, but connection heals it. And finally, remember this: self-sabotage is not who you are. It's a behavior, and behaviors can change. You are not broken, you're simply learning how to stop standing in your own way. But awareness alone isn't enough. Real change happens when awareness turns into consistent action. It's not about fixing yourself, it's about understanding yourself. Self-sabotage often comes from a part of you that's trying to keep you safe. That voice that says, "Don't try, you'll fail," isn't your enemy, it's your inner protector, shaped by past experiences. Maybe you were punished for mistakes as a kid, or mocked for trying something new. Your brain learned playing small is safer. The key is to talk back to that voice, not with anger, but with compassion. When you feel resistance, say to yourself, "I know you're scared, but I'm not that person anymore. I can handle this." Progress doesn't come from battling yourself, it comes from befriending yourself. Here's something powerful you can try right now. Close your eyes and picture the version of you that already broke this cycle. They're calm, confident, capable. They don't need to prove anything, they just do. Ask yourself, what are they doing differently every day? Maybe they start their morning with intention instead of chaos. Maybe they forgive themselves faster. Or maybe they finally keep one small promise to themselves. And that creates a ripple effect that changes everything. The brain learns through repetition. So every time you act in alignment with the person you want to be, even in the smallest way, you're reprogramming your subconscious mind. Your obstacles, your fears, your hesitation aren't walls. They're signals pointing exactly where you need to grow. Every time you face that inner resistance, remember, it's not a stop sign, it's a doorway. Walk through it, one conscious step at a time. And that's the truth most people miss. Success isn't about crushing your fears, it's about learning to walk with them, hand in hand. Because courage doesn't mean the absence of fear, it means choosing to move forward anyway. So the next time you catch yourself pulling back right when you're about to succeed, pause. Ask yourself, am I protecting myself or am I preventing myself? Self-sabotage is common, but it's not permanent. Once you recognize it, you can choose differently. And as Carl Jung once said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate.